Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Talk. I'm your host Abaya, and today we're going to be doing a preview video, not really a review, but just an upcoming announcement really. Um, so there's a new phone that's coming out. It's called the Red Magic. It is a gaming phone from Nubia. Nubia is partly owned by ZTE. I'm going to get this out of the way right now. A lot of people have said that this phone is already dead because ZTE is a part owner of Nubia. Well, they're a part owner, they're not the primary owner. They own less than 51% shares in Nubia, so they will not be penalized uh, under the ZTE ban. That being said, do we need another gaming phone? Especially one that's using last year's chipset? I would say we do. Because last year's chipset, the Snapdragon 835, is still a really good processor. When you combine that with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, you've got a pretty fast device. It comes with a 3800 milliamp battery, which is okay, especially for the Snapdragon 835. It's a uh, pretty efficient chip. However, that extra RAM will take some of the battery life out of it. But it doesn't have a very high resolution screen. It's just full HD. It's not 2K or 4K. So you're going to save a little bit of battery life with that. The main thing about this phone that makes it unique is that it is being made specifically for gaming. And how they do that is they put some graphite layering on the processor itself. And besides just the graphite layering that they put on there, it's a different design. It's like a convex design on the back so that it can kind of produce an airflow, and it keeps the Snapdragon 835 from throttling. And so everybody wants the latest and greatest. So the Snapdragon 845 is using the same architecture. It's a 10 nanometer chip. Nothing has changed there. It does have a better GPU, the Adreno 630, which you would think for gaming might be something that you would want. But the Adreno 540 is still quite a capable GPU. And if you consider that the 845 is clocked at 2.8 gigahertz, I believe even the 835 can heat up. So for thermal issues, the 835 is probably a little bit better, especially for extended gameplay. That being said, if you have a really good thermal design, that may not be an issue even with the 845. So then what would be the other advantage would be cost. Obviously, last year's processor is cheaper than this year's processor. So, and that's the main thing about this particular device. If you get it through Indiegogo, they have a campaign on here when the perks are the phone itself. Now it's $399 launch price for the high spec version. If you were to purchase this through something like AliExpress, it's $695.99 for the full spec version. So that's a big jump in cost. And is it worth it? I can't really say. Because I'm not going to pay that price. 400 is the magic number for me, and they hit that mark. And there was one kind of issue for North American buyers, was that they weren't going to release the phone and you couldn't get it at the early price. So that really sucked when it first came out, and I kind of complained about that. And they made some really cool efforts to change that. And so you can see here, this is the RGB strip that's on the back of the phone. That's just for no real reason other than to look cool. And it does have these four, they look like vents, but they're actually speakers. So you got four speakers here. One camera that's 24 megapixel, the fingerprint reader, And the front of the phone is basically all screen. It's a 6-inch screen, so it's a pretty good size. And what they did was, for American customers, after me and a couple other people had said some things, they made the device available for early testing. Now, they also at first offered a $50 voucher that would have given you $50 off of the accessories and a code to get the phone at the launch price. So you would have had to wait till July for that, but you'd still get the early bird pricing, which, as you can see, is a whole heck of a lot better than the pricing on AliExpress. And if you go through AliExpress, obviously you can get the phone right now, but the issue with that is it's going to have not stock Android 8.1, but it's going to have Red Magic OS without any gaps. And to me, that's not something I would want. So the reason that they're taking a little longer to release the American version is because they want to get the LTE bands correct and things like that. So you can buy right now the early testing version for North America. And what does that get you? That gets you the device in May instead of July, and you get to test it out. You get to basically beta test for the company, and then once their beta testing is done, you send the phone back and they send you a brand new one. So that's a pretty cool thing. You get to take part in that process, and you get to have the phone before anybody else here in America. So when I get this phone in May, which is really soon, I will be doing a quick video on that and showing you how the sound is, how the speakers are, how fast it is, and all of these things, so that you can get an idea of, is this a device that's even worth buying? Is the RGB strip completely ridiculous, or is it kind of fun? And things like that. And I know it's a polarizing device, and that's kind of the fun of it, you know. I don't take life so seriously. I like to enjoy and have a little fun. So I'm really looking forward to this device. It should be really cool. So if you want to ask any questions, feel free to leave any comments in the section below. Subscribe if you want to see the Nubia Red Magic before anybody else here in the United States. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been Abaya at Tech Talk. Can't wait to get the Nubia Red Magic.